everybody, welcome. It is Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, so it's time for Stampin' with Denise. Welcome so much. Welcome. We'll give just a second for everyone to get on and find us. Let me share this onto my page. I think I can share that on my page. There we go. There we go. Good. Hi. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. I had a good one. Spent a lot of time down here in my craft room. So, can't believe it's the last Monday in January. I can't believe it's been a month since Christmas. It seems like it's been, hasn't been that long. So let me open this up here. And I think we are ready to go. If you're just joining us, welcome. I do this video each Monday, most Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I have a fun new project tonight. I'm going to use a new suite that I haven't shared with you yet, and it's one of my favorites. So if you like what you see, share my video, and you might win the project I'm making tonight, and you're going to like it. So please share. But last week, if you recall, we made this origami card. Using some of the free paper from Celebration. And tonight's winner, Stephanie McKinstry, she shared my video, and so she's going to get this card. So Stephanie, I'll save it here for when you come to class next time, okay? Thank you. I'm going to set that right over there. Good. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm going to flip the phone around. Put it in the holder, so hang tight there for just a second and try not to get motion sickness. Hang on. Okay. I am so excited because tonight I'm going to share with you one of my favorite suites in the catalog. It's the Tropical Oasis. Isn't this just so nice? It's colorful, it's warm, and it makes me feel warm. It's the perfect thing for a cold day in Michigan. Although, that being said, it's not that cold. Today when I left work, it was about 37, and there was no wind. So that's really, really good. That's really good. So anyway, we're going to be using this suite tonight. And as you know, the suites always have designer series paper that coordinates with it. And look at all these colors that this beautiful paper has in it. There's something in here for everybody. Real Red, Terracotta Tile, Grapefruit Grove, Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, and Soft Suede. So it has a great stamp set and die set. And here's some additional page, shows you the stamps in the stamp set and the die set, and I just love these cards. So let me show you the dies and the stamp set here. Remember, when you purchase die, sometimes Stampin' Up has things in a bundle, especially new products. So this is new, and you save 10% when you purchase them together as a bundle. If they come back in our annual catalog, and I don't know that yet, but sometimes they carry over into the next annual catalog. You will not be able to get that 10% discount for bundling your items. So just keep that in mind. I've got a couple stamps pulled out that we're going to use, and I thought I should take a minute here to show you some swaps that I made way back in December. I made these using some of the products from this suite. So I made this great birthday card, simple. I thought this would be even a great masculine card. I used the embossing folder that comes with the set. It's called Coastal Weave. And to me, it just kind of reminds me of a cabana, and we got the ferns there. It makes a great birthday card. The next one here, Our Friendship is Timeless. Again, some more of the designer series paper. I use this great sentiment. I made this little flower and leaf bundle using the dies, see it here, and then the leaves. And what I did was I just kind of assembled them on a little round circle and assembled the pieces. And it's not too hard. You have to be a little patient, but it's not that hard. This one was kind of a fun card. You'll recognize the layout. I did a Christmas card like this. But here's where I used the pineapple. And I forget what this was called, a split panel card maybe? And it says, Our Friendship is Timeless. And there's the aloha with that pineapple. And I thought that was the perfect way to use that pineapple on that card, on that little piece. And this one I really liked a lot too. Rest and relax, you deserve it. I thought perfect card for retirement. One part of the designer series paper has these little woody station wagons on them. I thought, how am I going to use that? But you know what? To me, that does say, it kind of says retirement, if that's what you have in mind. You got a surfboard on the top of them. They're heading out to the beach. So that's, if you like to surf, I guess that's a great way to spend your retirement, okay? So, you know what? I would like to know which of these swap cards you actually like the best. Or even the card that I'm making tonight, which is a totally different, using this suite, but a totally different layout. So, we're going to do this pocket card using the Tropical Oasis paper or suite of products. See, I use the Rest and Relax, you deserve it. So these pocket cards, and you know what? This pocket card will fit in an envelope. I have an envelope sitting right here. Here it is. Because we are going to also, I'm going to show you a fun way to decorate the envelope. But look at this, see? So you could still mail this. It will go right in the envelope. What's hanging me up? There we go. See? Perfect. So don't be afraid of this. Remind me at the end, and we will, we're going to decorate the card. Okay. So let me start out here. We are using this sheet of designer series paper. Let me get my measurements out, some of these things out of the way. This sheet of designer series paper is 6 by 9 3/4. Now, you notice this strip of paper here on the inside. I was going to flip this over and use that right there. But you know what? I cut the paper the wrong way. And so when I cut it, I should have cut it the other way. So when I cut it, it would have made the palm trees go sideways. So you know what? I just pulled this. I had this strip already. It was already that size. And I just attached it and trimmed it up. And I thought since the inside was that color, it looked okay. But I would have rather have used this one. And I didn't want to cut up a whole nother sheet of designer series paper for that little strip. So you know what? You do what you can do. Okay, so let me get the scoreboard here. Because we're going to score this piece of designer series paper. You know, I lay all this stuff out nice so I can find it. And then I realize I have to move it so I can, when I have to use it. So let me get mine. Like I said, this is 6 by 9 1/4. We're going to score this at 2 3/4, which is right here. Okay, now I've got 2 blades. I've got a score and I've got a cut. So I want to get the cut one out. Make sure I'm using the score one. Yeah, you can see I've put a little thing on there that says score. And you know what? You don't have to push very hard on this paper because you don't want to tear it. So this is 2 3/4. And then I'm going to take this down here to 7 inches. And we're going to score this down here. And then if your paper is directional, and you'll have to see this one isn't so much, so it doesn't work too, well, it sort of was, but you know what, I cut it and they're flowers, so that's okay. If you're going along what is going to be the bottom part of your pocket, for your pocket card, you're going to score this at 5/8 of an inch. So it's 4/8. I always have to look because this new cutting trimmer from Stampin' Up is nice, but it's got 16ths on it, and sometimes I have to think about it. So, okay, so there we go. Let me put this out of the way. And I don't think we need this anymore. I like how that arm clips in. Now, I don't know if you can see score lines. We've got one here, and one across the bottom, okay? So we're going to take my scissors. We're going to kind of notch this center one out. And we are going to cut just above the score line. Let me see. I guess I can see it. I'm going to fold it a little bit. That'll help too. It won't make it, if it's not perfectly straight, it's okay, because you know what? It's going to be covered up by that bottom flap. But I seem to be able to see this one better. And we're going to trim this right down here. This paper makes me very happy. You know, I told myself recently that I wasn't going to stock up on designer series paper that I like because I never go back and use it. Well, you know what? I might have to go back on my pledge, because you know what? I really do like this paper and the flowers, the tropical flowers. So I'm going to fold this in. I'm going to fold this in like this. Crease it down. And this is going to go up. Now, if it kind of doesn't fold up right, you can trim a little bit of this down right here, and it will, so that it folds easier, but this folds really nice. So when you're figuring out which way you put your flaps, you're going to want your flap, the smaller side on top, because that'll put your seam right down the center back, okay? So what you're going to do is put some adhesive right there. Close that up. I meant to put another little piece on there, but that's, I think, you know what? I think it's going to be absolutely okay. I'm going to put some along this flap. And right there. And there's your pocket already. Okay? Now, so that the person who's receiving it can get the card out on the inside, we're going to take, this is my 2-inch punch. You could use a smaller one, and I'm just going to take call it a little tiny nibble out of the top of this paper. Okay, so that is pretty much done in terms of the pocket. Okay, so we're going to set this aside for right now. And I think we'll work on the inside next. So, this piece of cardstock is 5 1/4 by 4, because I want to make sure that it slides in very easy. So, and then your neutral color, you know, your white is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. You know what? And I think this is so easy. This makes a great card with a lot of punch. Okay, and you're going to put it right on here. Kind of center it. Okay, so we're going to do our first little bit of stamping here. And you can tell what I did on mine. I accented the inside with one of the flowers, one of the stamps out of the set. And this is using Grapefruit Grove, which, you know, this is one of the in colors that's going to be retiring in May. So if you like it, you know, you need to get it now. Get your ink refill, stock up on your cardstock, whatever. And there we go. Okay. And I have to tell you, I already stamped that because I was having some trouble with that yesterday. So now here's the other strip of paper. If you joined me late, I wanted to use the back of the paper that I used, but I cut it the wrong way and the trees would have been sideways. So I pulled this out of my pack. It was already this length. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just put it on like this. Put the adhesive. I'm going to put it right on here. And I like to do it this way because then I can, it's a little bit longer and that's okay. But then I can trim it off and it matches exactly. I hate it when I'm, you know, marrying up two pieces and they're supposed to match and they don't. So this is one of my little tricks. Whenever I can, I will just trim this down in place. And there we go. It's a perfect match. Let's see. Might trim that just a skosh more here. You know, most people aren't going to tell, but aren't we our own worst critics when we make cards? Absolutely. So really, that is all to the inside of that. So I'm going to stick that right in there. I'll stick this one back in here. Now, we are going to decorate the front. I'm going to start out with the palm trees, okay? When I first got this set and I was working on the cards for that swap back in December, you know, there weren't any samples out. And I'm like, how am I going to make those trees? They're all one stamp. How am I going to make them look green, okay? So I'll show you what I did. I had to play around a little bit. And I came up with what I think worked out pretty well. So this, I'm using the pine tree. I'm using the soft suede ink. Put this on here. Let's get the ink in there. And there we go. Okay, close that up. Okay, so I have two different markers here. I'm using one of the blends in the light soft suede, and I'm just going over the pine or the palm tree trunks just to kind of fill it in and give them some definition. And I played around and played around with what I was going to do with the fronds on the palm trees, okay? Did a lot of things. I tried coloring them with markers and doing it, and I could never get it right. So what I did was I pulled out my Stampin' Up marker. This is Pear Pizzazz. And you know what? It's a little tedious, but I liked the outcome. What I did was I took the brush tip end and just kind of followed the directions of all the palm fronds on each of the branches. So, you know, I didn't just color in the whole thing, and I think what makes it is because I'm kind of doing this in kind of a feathered manner, and so it kind of looks like they are green. And I like the brown behind it because it gives it a little bit of depth rather than just being all one color. Now there may be, I've seen other people's palm trees, I keep calling them pine trees, and I like how they look, but I'm not sure how they've done them, and I'd be perfectly honest, I haven't spent the time. So if you've got any other suggestions on how to do this, but I kind of liked this. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these, but you can just kind of see how that little pine tree or palm tree, see I did it again, is taking shape. So and through the magic of television, no, it's not the magic of television, and I would just fill in some little spots if I missed. So I have one done for you, and die cut, okay, on your die cutting machine. So wanted to decorate this up. You saw that there was also this Aloha die cut. I like the die cut words, but I don't like gluing on these little tiny sentiments and words. So I used some double-sided sticky, put it on my cardstock before I die cut it. Then I die cut it out. Then all I have to do is pull the back off of this, and it has a sticker. It's like a sticker. See, look at that. It has the adhesive on there, and all I have to do is adhere it right there. There we go. Okay, that's it, and that's easy. So that's really nice. Stampin' Up used to sell some. We don't have it anymore. but you can find it in craft stores and at Hobby Lobby or at on Amazon and things like that. So I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of this, so it'll be ready to go here in just a second. Before I attach those, I'm gonna put my ribbon, this braided linen trim on here. Now this is the 3/16 width that's actually in the annual catalog. This suite has that's 5/16. But you know what? I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna stay with it. I like this. That's why I didn't buy the wider stuff, but it's there if you want it. Okay, so we're gonna tie a little bow around here. What I'm gonna have to do, I don't want to cut it off until because inevitably I cut it off too short, you know what I mean? So we're gonna make a little bow here. And I don't do a lot of bows, you know, real bows, if you know what I mean. So we'll see how this turns out. And we can kind of play with this. I think that looks okay, despite being upside down. Where's the edge of it there? And you know what? You can kind of tack, what I'll do too is I'm going to tack it down a little bit with a glue dot so it stays in place. Look at that. Yeah, I can make it a little smaller if I want. But I'm pretty pleased with that. There. So let me get a glue dot, put right under that knot to keep it in place. Probably have to take the glue dot and kind of bunch it up. There we go. Now it's not going anywhere. So then all we got to do is put on the palm trees and our sentiment. I just cut this white backing out of the using some of the stitched framelits, the oval ones. At first I was going to put the Aloha right on here, but you know what? It didn't show up. It needed a little bit of pop. And I've got some dimensionals on the back of this already. And you know, when I made my sample, I already had the Aloha and the tree on before I decided to add the bow, so I kind of slid it under there, but that's okay. And you know, on this tree, these trees, I only put dimensionals on the back because the bottom of the trees are going to be behind the sentiment oval, so I thought it would hold them in place pretty well. There we go, just like that. There we go. Now your card's done. Yay! But I do want to show you a fun way to decorate your envelopes, okay? So this was the piece, remember this piece of designer series paper to make this pocket was 6 by 9 1/4. So there's a little bit, you know, there's this piece that was left. This is 6 by like 2 3/4. So we're going to use this to decorate our envelopes. You're going to take your designer series paper, and you know what? I don't do this very often, and I should do it more. But I don't know. I think it looks really nice. You're just going to put this designer series paper right on the back flap of your envelope, right like this. Just trying to get it lined up just right. There you go. Then you're going to trim that paper. Look at that. Easy way to use up a little scrap of paper. I'm not going to say you wouldn't have used it someplace else, but like I said, I am really bad at decorating the envelopes, so trying to come up with new and inventive ways to decorate your envelopes. So how do you decorate your envelopes? What's your favorite way? I know some people just put a stamp down in the corner. And let's see. And remember, I said this pocket card fits in this envelope. So, okay, look at that. Won't that be cool? I could put part of the flower down here too, actually, if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now, but And look at that, and it goes in there. Fits right in there. Look at that. Now, who wouldn't want to get an envelope with that paper on that on there? Isn't that pretty? So, what's that? Oh, something that came out of the envelope. Okay. So, that is tonight's project. I really hope you liked it. I would love to know what you think of this card. And remember, I showed you the 4 swap cards that I had done using this suite. I would like to know which one you liked the best. So, let me know what you think. Rest and relax, aloha, friendship, or birthday. So let me know. But I'll show you our pocket card one more time. And please, if you liked what you saw tonight, share it. And I might just be sending this out to you next week. Okay? Thank you so much. And I will see you next Monday night at 8 Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Thanks for stopping by. Bye now.